to the county.
32576.
Hey.
Traffic stop on Grid Shepherd.
Oh, Brian.
Continuing northbound Magellan.
What's going on, Flop? How you doing?
Direct lanes of travel.
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
PVP hours on
Pretty good.
frequency can join the
Hey, how's
I can't hear you. Sorry. Speak up.
me?
Sorry.
Del Perro
Can you hear me?
transition
Yeah, I can hear you now.
to Great Ocean
Hey, what
Highway.
happened with what side of the fence did you
Northbound
land
Great
on?
Ocean Highway.
What does that mean?
The ADMC stuff?
10-8 units at MRPD that can grab us.
What about it?
Oh, what side did you land on?
On my feet?
367 transitioning CVP.
Yeah,
DCSO.
on my feet.
Temple, Northbound Great Ocean Highway.
I landed.
Chumash.
I stuck the landing.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. Why?
Yeah.
Northbound Great Ocean Highway, speeds of 50 miles an hour.
Why am I asking?
Yeah.
Because it gets brought up quite a bit in shift 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
like with the
I'm-
shootouts and whatnot.
Northbound Great Ocean Highway.
There's shootouts going on?
Interference vehicle has burst.
Yeah,
Damn.
between both of y'all groups.
Y'all's group. Am I being roped into a side here, Brian?
Continuing
Were you not ADMC?
Great Ocean Highway.
Was. Is there a tag on my profile?
I-
Oh, dang. All right. Right, chill. Fuck. I'm having a reasonable conversation here. Fuck.
Still northbound.
Sorry.
Great Ocean Highway.
I'll pull off here. Hold on. What were you saying?
I mean, listen, if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. I'm just making small talk.
No, I get that, but like, you're asking me what side of the aisle I landed on, as if
Yeah.
like I'm involved in any of it.
68.
I think
like-
it's pretty normal and to assume that, you know, if you were in ADMC and ADMC split, that you would have joined one of them. And if you didn't, you know, I'm kind of just, you. Are we good? Do we have issues?
Uh,
Because you're kind of giving me the kind of responses that people give if they think I'm investigating them.
no.
Yeah.
I would know if you're like investigating me. I mean, we have history, Brian, right? But we
Do
definitely
we?
have issues. Yeah, I mean, we have issues. Yeah.
What? Oh, you're gonna have to explain that one to me. I don't know.
Oh yeah, sure. You executed my brother?
I didn't execute him. Wait, what makes you think I executed him?
You killed him, Brian.
Do you know what happened? Did you read the report?
Well, I'd love to read the report, but unfortunately I was conflicted from it, as well as the fact that I wouldn't have a chance to read it today if I wanted to.
Wait, hold on a second.
Uh-huh.
You're under the impression that I executed him?
Well, we can argue semantics on the form of execution.
There was none. He was
on.
shooting up a room of cops.
He was shooting up a room of cops.
While on a series of different drugs with a automatic Glock.
Right.
No, there's no right. I literally have the reports.
Would you be willing to share it with me?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, Ziggy's got a copy. Or no, not Ziggy. Who has a copy of it? Dark has a copy of it. That's for certain. Do you genuinely think I fucking executed him?
Well, when I asked you about it years back, you kind of laughed it off and walked away from me.
Yeah,
when I
okay.
asked you about it.
Here's why. I'll explain. And maybe I did, but it's kind of like the strapped a bomb on an EMS thing, right?
Yeah.
What happens is you have two IQ individuals that have zero moral compass or general brain functionality that will, let's say, look at a situation like a normal person would and sort of twist it into some kind of nasty shit, right? So you end up kind of having to make a choice. Is either you lean into it to own it, or you try to defend yourself against, said morons. So what I'll tell you, and I can give you the report. I'll give you both that and his medical papers. But what took place was, what was his name?
Do you want me to fill in the blank?
No. Hold on.
Okay,
I got this. The Cody Sharp.
Yeah.
Cody Sharp was in a active fist fight with, I want to say, Pred. I don't remember who. Because I walked into it. This was in the top floor of the police department. While people were watching. Shortly thereafter, someone else got involved too. I believe it was the then chief. It was two members of high command. I think Pred was one of them. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
But things started to escalate where he did pull a weapon at first. So things got really bad. So being the only adult in the room, because sometimes things would get so out of hand, people didn't know when to stop, right? Because once you start taking out weapons and flashing it around, there becomes a problem. As a part of this, the sort of de-escalation, I got people to leave the room and eventually tried to get them out of that big room down into the captain's office. You know, the old one, the little small one that used to be on the second floor.
Yeah.
Upon getting there, more and more people started to enter. Once again, this wasn't my battle, right? I don't even know what the hell it was over, to be honest. Maybe it was a demotion, maybe it was an argument. I don't know. It was some petty PD bullshit. And I'm pretty much a bystander, just making sure shit doesn't go out of line. And multiple times to de-escalate, and it wasn't just Cody. There's others sort of adding on to it. But in this tight little room, there was about 15 different individuals. Cody was in the back corner, diagonal from the entrance. 3 people to his right, 3 to his left. I was on the opposite end by the couch, alongside the others. So once again, 15 people in that room. Shit started to escalate, and that's when Cody pulled out what was it called, like a GC-17 or whatever, you know, the automatic Glocks that people used to have?
Yeah.
And he said, something, I'm going to shoot up the room. So at that stage, myself and others pulled out our firearms. And there was no intention to kill because I didn't honestly think it was going to get that far. But this argument that happened between him and the sheriff, and I'm trying to remember who the sheriff was at the time. Like, I want to say Pred, but it could have been a different sheriff at that point. I think it was a different sheriff because I think Dark might have been a chief.
Are you talking pre, like,
Oh, wait, no, this is
restructure
pre-DPD. Yeah, so it must have been Pred. I don't remember exactly who the sheriff was, but regardless. Oh, you know who was in there? Actually, now I'm starting to remember. It was, who's the sheriff who's the undersheriff under Pred? He kind of had, like, a very, like, deep voice. He's one of, like, Svensson's friends.
It wasn't Malton, was it?
No, it wasn't Malton.
I don't know.
Regardless.
Oh, Svensson?
No.
No. Fuck.
Anyways, what ended up happening was he started saying some wild shit, talking about shooting up the room or whatever, and ultimately, he started to aim the gun at everybody, and someone said, "Look, a troll," or like a Danish troll or something, and he started opening fire, and so I quickly shot him. And I wasn't the only one. It was like, I think 5 of us opened fire, but I'm the one who, said they did it. Mostly because I knew what it would turn into, right? Now, there was... It got really bad, though, and I want to give you an idea. Some dumb fucks started asking questions about, why didn't you just tase him? Which is probably one of the most brainlet things you could say, because firing a taser to someone that has a automatic firearm,
Yeah.
and they're already pressing the trigger, you're just going to spray the room, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what happened. But unfortunately, you know, PD be PD. And, you know, sometimes people like to take opportunities like that to try to make it into something it never was. But ultimately, his autopsy was taken, and he had, brother, he had more drugs in his system than I've ever seen in my life. Cocaine, fentanyl, like ecstasy, etc., etc. Give me a second. Let me see if I can actually pull it up for you.
If you still have the report, I would love to read it at some point.
Let me see. Prodigyrp. Yeah, I'll take a look. When I'm, you know, when I come across it, I'll send it to you. I've got it in one of my emails.
No, you're good. If you
Yeah.
can get it to me at some point, I would actually like to see it. I was barred from ever seeing it. In fact, if I recall correctly,
Wait,
I believe
why?
it turned into I believe it was turned into a command report at one point, and I didn't have access to it. It became something internal, and it was one of the various avenues where I couldn't see the report.
Yeah, that's kind of bullshit because you, as a family member, are owed that information.
I was owed the medical information. I don't know if I was ever supposed to be
No.
owed the actual.
Oh no,
police
100%
report.
you would. Why wouldn't you? Family member dies, you can't know why?
I mean, I know he was shot.
No, it was
Like I said, I've gotten the rendition from others. This was a long time ago, though.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't have the full puzzle put together.
Oh,
but
there was a lot of bullshit. It was immediately afterwards. Why did you shoot him? In a room full of people that he was about to fucking unload on. I mean, he pointed the gun. Columbo, that's who it was.
Rocco Columbo.
He pointed the gun at his undersheriff, and that was the moment I pulled the weapon out, right? Because there's like levels to things. And
Sure.
the moment he pulled that gun at his undersheriff, the one person that would command him to put the weapon down, like at that point, all bets are off, right?
Fair.
It's, you know, chain of command's been broken, automatic firearm, right? It's,
Levels of force, all that. Yeah.
exactly. So,
Okay.
but yeah,
I'm not happy about it. You know, but I would like to see the police report at some point.
I should be able to produce it.
If you think you can find it at some point,
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to go back and read it just so I know, because I was actually never given the closure on that.
I'm surprised because I didn't give it this. Oh, I gave it to Rhodes.
Do you think if I reached out to Matt, he would have it?
I would have expected he gave it to everybody. Let me actually check his old email. Let me see. Can you send me an email real quick?
Yeah, I got you.
What is Matt Rhodes' email chat? Do you remember? Oh, it's like elephant. All right. I think that's my statement I just sent you. And then medical report in a second here. I think that's the medical report.
Okay.
Let
I'll
me
take a
see.
look. I'll read
Yeah.
it over. If you ever find the actual report too, I would like to see the report, but I
Yep.
might have to reach out to Matt for that.
I should be able to send it because Matt had was told very similar to what I think you probably were. And I sent him all the information, be like, no, that's not what happened. Let me see.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll try
that's...
to reach out to Matt.
Yeah, absolutely.
See if he has it. Hey,
Yeah.
Brian.
All right. Well, hey.
I do
All right.
appreciate your perspective on it. I'll give you that.
Well,
I gotta respect that. Changes my perspective a little bit.
yeah. Look, and I do apologize if you already got the bullshit side of me on it.
Well,
Like I said, it becomes like you can only defend yourself so many times before you have to just be like, own up to it. You know, like I said, like the bomb on the EMS.
right.
Do you think I ever did that? Just out of curiosity.
You want me to answer that honestly, Brian?
Yeah. No, 100%.
Do you remember that I ran the meeting after? I then spoke to Ursula, and I believe Ursula had confirmed that you did it.
No. Ursula's been a rat. She, I hired her originally. Ursula knew nothing about the war. She was working at the Jewel Dragon, and I wanted the media involved from the very beginning because I think the city was owed an explanation as to every single thing that was taking place, especially if it ultimately led to war. That included full transparency as to what was happening on the inside and what happened over there. Unfortunately, the dumb fuck that was in charge, the one that got himself fucking killed in prison, don't even remember what his name is, denied her from coming. And when she gets vengeful, she likes to spin. She was never anywhere near the conversations that took place. The entire area within the what was it? It's a little villa where the holdout took place towards the end, place where EMS were authorized by their own command to start opening fire on the opposing side. This is something you should keep in mind. Veronica Mars was a combat medic. She was signed off voluntarily by the head of EMS at the time. She's a raider now. I think her name is Veronica something or other. I still have her emails, mind you. I keep receipts. She sent me a proposition saying that if EMS was going to come to Sanguine, she wanted a fraction of her EMS to have Class 2 firearms and be able to engage with targets alongside medical areas. By the time we got to the villa, she had authorized alongside the rest of the military for them to be one-to-one soldiers as everybody else. The only individuals that were privy to the conversation in regards to the bomb were myself, the senator, and Veronica Mars. The reason for that was pretty simple. Everyone on that island was going to die. Every single person that made it back did because the threat was ended. We could not get medical evacs. And they were, the enemy was stuck in a kill box. And the only option we thought would work was to have Veronica. This wasn't even my idea. This was the senator's. For me to explain to her as a bomb expert, she was going to do it regardless under his orders, to take that bomb, go in, and plant it under one of the bodies. Now, I want to highlight something. I understand some people went and fought for Sanguine for whatever those reasons were, but the people that were left inside that room, they were not like everybody else. They were eating bodies of their own and ours.
Mm.
So when you're put in a position like that, right, a lot of rules start to go out the window. And would it have been unethical to have EMS go in there, slide a bomb under a body, walk out, and have us explode it to end that threat? Probably. But there was no winning at the end. As for the whole strap a bomb out, that was fucking Conan Clarkson. That fucking son of a bitch somehow knew she had a bomb on her person, but I'm not going to get into that topic as to how that exactly took place.
How that leaked over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people have a different rendition of Sanguine, Brian. I'll be honest. I think a lot of people. It's kind of shitty when you think about it. You have a different perspective than I do because I didn't go. I was one of probably like 8 people who didn't. Then you had a bunch of other people who did go who also have different variations from either side, that is.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting to me. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but do you not think that it's a little interesting that we came back after they cleared us for this island? We sought to never go through something like that again. And there's people that walk this island with a valid driver's license. And they don't even know what Sanguine was. How are we to not repeat history if people don't look at it? We don't remember it, right?
I think we're set up for worse than Sanguine right now. And I think it's for 2 reasons.
I don't disagree with you. I'm actually interested to hear your take on this.
I don't want to go too far back, but this is relevant to what I'm about to say. Is the biggest mistake that Sanguine made was the media blackout created by the government. And this was mostly at the helm of, man, whatever the fuck's name was, the fucking guy who flew in to be everyone's boss.
Axel shithead.
Axel Justice.
Yeah.
I wanted this is my investigation. Mm-hmm. You know, it stemmed like from Rooster's Rest, from Lucky Plucker, to the bombings of the building, of the police departments. Mm-hmm. Every single thing. Brother, this was a 6-month. It wasn't just mine. I take that back.
I know that it was a lot of high commit. I know Tessa had involvement too. I know a lot of people kind of had their involvement in the lead up to everything.
It was myself. It was Bundy doing the majority of the legwork alongside, what was his name?
What department?
Ex-cop is UC. Johnny Devine.
Oh, Divine, yeah.
And many members of the MCU. This stuff was so critically can be kept a secret because people were leaking. Leaking problem was huge. Entire Michael Simone investigation kept getting leaked, right? And then it wasn't just that it was getting leaked, it was getting twisted, right? Members of PD would get little tidbits and then be like, Brian bad, Bundy bad, but we couldn't defend ourselves because we can't leak information.
If you defend yourself, you're exposing facts and evidence to an ongoing investigation. Yeah.
We had unsurmountable evidence that the bombs that blew up our police departments, killed our chief of police, resulted in Rooster's Rest getting bombarded, the GG gas getting bombarded at the time. Like, we're talking about like fucking huge ass fucking bombs, not the small shit, right? Mm-hmm. Fentanyl, all the class 2 fire, it was all coming from that island. And we could not tell anybody, which was the dumbest thing ever, right? Because if you think about it, right? If people knew what was happening, then at least they would understand why. But instead, Axel thought, let's not tell everyone and let's go meet these guys on a carrier and then not be able to have a fully broadcasted conversation because we can't, like, how do you have that? You know what I mean? Like, imagine
I didn't go, but I heard that it was like an ego battle, essentially.
It was because, you know, they had the upper hand. They simply said, we got nothing. And we can't prove it, right? Like, I mean, fucking George Bush had better intel about the Iraq war than we did, according to everybody, right? Even though that wasn't the case. We had photographs. We had someone living on that island in Jaeger's, like, posse. Like, literally, a UC cop was having to eat people to stay. I don't know. It was an entire fucking thing. But
Sure.
my point there being, unfortunately, at the end of it all, only, I'd say maybe a dozen people know what truly happened. Right? Most probably remember the fight and the allegations.
I mean, the problem is a lot of people weren't involved until the fight, so that's all people remember.
Oh, and that's exactly it. They should have known. Before that, anyone went to that carrier ship, every fucking piece of evidence should have been plastered. Because the moment the Senate signed off on the war, that was public information. No one was going to court. Right? There is no probable cause. It's a fucking war.
Yeah. Now, I will say, all of that is relevant to I think my follow question on this.
Yeah.
Why do you think we're set up poorly now than we were before? More poorly now, because of everybody that I thought I'd be explaining this to, Brian, I will tell you this much real quick.
Yeah.
I didn't just leave the PD because PD bad and I wanted to go do stupid shit. I got brought into the skeleton crew. And during that time, we were strictly told about the economic failures that we would have to endure with CVPIs, old police cars, old equipment. We didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. And we very well, damn well knew that. And for months, we tried to get equipment to keep up with how people were formulating here on the streets. And I was one of the first people to speak up about it and say, listen, we have an inherent problem. There is more armory on the streets than we are able to carry for ourselves. We can't defend ourselves against these people. And I had said that this is an inherent problem. This is bad. And I was told that this is what we have to deal with. About a month after that, the marshals were formed, and it was informed that, oh, they were approved for whatever it was, 7-8 tanks or whatever it was. Oh, by the way, they're going to be overseeing your department. They're going to be overseeing, they're going to be auditing, they're going to be doing this and that. And it pissed me off, and I spoke out about it. I said, can you explain to me how we as a police department to protect and serve with no economic backing have to sit and know that this new department was formed with more economic backing from the get-go than we still have, and we have to sit here and follow through as if we're a functioning department. Meanwhile, the money that we needed for our department just got put into tanks that are only going to be used on a rare occasion.
Oh, I feel too conflicted about this topic.
Oh,
but I feel like I'd feel very similar, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know there wasn't any other reason why I left other than that I foresee a failure in our future, and I will gladly sit back, and when the world burns, I'd rather be in my own cover. I'd rather not be anywhere near either side of that, because it's going to be a shit show.
I don't disagree. I think the reason why we're heading in a direction that's going to be significantly worse than Sanguine is because, I mean, look to the streets. I mean, most of these dumb fucks are only their only care in the world is when's the next boost or when's the next bank truck. And the police department is literally no different. These people can't even fucking articulate charges. They have fucking bars on their goddamn collars.
It's bad. It's not good.
You know the biggest drama that's in the PD right now? The biggest topic of concern?
Can I take a guess?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess 2. Either the difference between RS and PC or what's gang-related shooting.
No.
Damn. Okay.
It's why do some people get to drive certain vehicles with certain parts and others can't? That has been the biggest topic of discussion in the last week and a half. It's the thing that causes arguments and screaming. It's the thing that takes up hours a day of conversation. That is PD's biggest concern. It is one of the most fucking things that I've ever imagined. Like, how fucking dumb can you be that your main concern is what does someone fucking drive and not the
God, I couldn't agree anymore. I couldn't agree anymore, Brian. You know,
we found fucking coke, like a plane, right? I'm gonna say it because it's past 30 days. I don't give a fuck. We found someone trying to intercept a plane filled with cocaine and money and tried to intercept it. And these dumb fucks, before we could get back to the police department, sent them up on basic charges. No
Holy
investigation, no follow-up, no subpoena. And then they're like, well, why couldn't we do it? They didn't do anything. I'm like, it's drug trafficking, you dumb fuck. How would they know the plane is there? You need to know. Like,
Holy
what
fuck.
are you doing? That's what we deal with. And I don't get to be around very often, but when I am, it makes my blood boil that people are more interested in arguing about it's all the, oh my God. It's such low quality police mentality that it's not everybody. I want to be clear. There's a lot of really good officers, but there's enough of the dumb shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
That instead of sticking to their, pog-filled lane, which I enjoy from time to time too, they'll get in the way of something that is just so damningly obviously there's more to it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's these fucking faceless fucks. There's this pestilence shit. Fucking Norman Bones. Like, I'm not interested in those latter two, but holy fuck, at least look into that shit. Oh my God, I found this entire fucking like massive fucking like murder race thing, and man, that was great. We looked into it, blah blah blah, like things that, but like everybody else, it's like, oh my God, fun, wee wee woo woo, turn on my fucking lights and sirens. Like, bro, if you want to do that, just don't step on the fucking investigation.
Yeah.
Like, there's meaning to life beyond like the 5 minutes in front of you. You ever watch Fast and Furious?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's like a line in there that today sounds pretty cringe, but it's pretty relatable. It's like, I only live life 60 seconds at a time. That is, I swear to God, like half the goddamn department right now.
The goldfish mentality. Hello.
Yeah.
What the? What are you guys doing?
We're chatting. We're having a conversation.
Yeah, we're having a conversation.
What's
Yeah.
up?
Yep.
You're all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Oh, all right. Okay.
I caught his buddy pushing dope yesterday, and
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah. No. You know what?
And that's the thing that fucking worries me. There could literally be a nuclear launch coming our way, and we could find, like, run into a scientist, right? That like the evidence could be there. But guess what? We're not going to be able to do shit about it. Why? Because someone's going to look at it and be like, felony obstruction, and then just send them. Not even for a second question. Not even charges. Like, think about what the fuck they're looking at, right?
Yeah. No, I listen, I'm with you. I fought for it. I did everything I could for it. And I mean, I guess maybe I'm the coward, but I eventually just gave up. I knew that this department, I don't care what department you're in, the UPD as a whole right now is, there were things that were happening where even I said, holy shit, if this happened, there are things that I would lock the fuck in with, Brian, and people would be surprised by me, like, just getting really down to the nitty gritty to get something done, because it's how I was trained. And nowadays, people don't even want to look at that stuff, because you're right. One of the arguments that there was when I was, it was one of the first gang-related shootings, and we had an argument. There were two things happening. There was an argument about what would articulate for gang-related, if there's no pattern of behavior at the time.
Yeah.
And then there was another thing about questioning a hot gun charge. Now, I don't know about you, Ryan, but I still understand the law enough to know what 9/10 is. If I'm holding a hot gun right now and I got arrested for it, you could question me. You can make a proper stance for it, however you want. That's still a hot gun. The burden of proof falls on the defense to prove their innocence. That's always been the case. Do you know how many hot guns were argued because I don't know if we should charge this person with 7 charges?
It's not our determination, man.
It's not our call. I had to get Murphy Braun fired because he had a gun planted on him, and when I asked him how he received it, he said, and I quote, "I don't remember." And then he was found guilty, and then he threatened to kill the judge, and now he has his job back because on the 31st day after statute, new evidence came out where an individual came forward and stated, "Oh yeah, I planted the gun." I was then pulled into a room and asked, "Are you going to drop the charges via the appeal?" I said, "Yes, as long as the person that brought the new evidence forward gets charged." "Well, no, we can't do that because it's past statute and this is new evidence and that evidence is past statute now." I said, "So I have to just drop the charges now on Murphy Braun?" "Yes." I said, "Okay, fuck it. I'm dropping charges. I'm done with investigations. If this is how we're going to do things, I'm not going to put my time and effort into things." Crazy. Fucking crazy.
mean, it's the problem is that I don't think a lot of command, unfortunately, back that kind of shit, minus a few, but they get overwhelmed with having to deal with some of the most dog shit. Brother, I swear to God, I have never wanted to pull a gun on a cop until some of these conversations about these fucking interceptor vehicles, like, it's actually fucking absurd. It's like watching a bunch of like 19-year-olds that just got to college and joined a fucking frat. Like, it's actually insane that the beer and, like, you know, all those little things matter more. It's fucking insane. Gang related, oh, don't even get me started. People don't even want to push that. But at the same time, they also don't want to create a dossier to articulate how someone is in a gang. They just say, "Oh, someone said they're in this." And then they use confirmation bias, which is, you know what I mean?
I hate that shit.
It's like,
I hate that shit so much.
It's so shit. It's like, you know, it's like, oh, he said, okay, well, what if I said I was like in, like, I don't know, ADMC right now? What, are you going to put a tag? No, you won't.
You shouldn't.
No. And
I'm not gonna say who did it, but I did ask that my tag got removed. I'm not lying. I'm not in the club anymore. I mean, obviously time will tell to prove that, but all it took was me saying, "Hey, take the tag off," and the tag was taken off. Yeah.
I mean, if you're wondering why I still do it, it's I've always had this like thing on my shoulders where it's like I'm like fucking Hodor, you know what I mean?
That's a good way to put it.
And then eventually, you know, you grind enough. Hopefully the the needle flips to the other side, you know what I mean? It takes time though.
I mean, eventually you're gonna stop rubbing against sandpaper, and eventually you're just gonna be numb to the pain. It's just you kind of you know what you have to do, and you know what the right way is, and everything else doesn't matter because you accept that you can't fix everything.
No. Yep.
I get it.
Flop, I got to get back out there. This has been a good conversation.
It's been good catching up, Brian. You take care, right?
You as well.
All right.
That was a good RP convo.
Right, eastbound Spanish. For PBS status vehicle?
I love playing Brian as the disheartened, like, mercenary cop.
I said PBS authorized. Maintaining eastbound Eclipse. You can maintain an eastbound